Hi guys, this is me, Sir Tawheed, and today we are going to learn past indefinite tense. So in today's lesson, we are going to cover all our its uses and all our its concepts. They are mostly used in daily conversations when we are talking about our past events or past experiences. We have to use this tense. So first of all, before starting, I would like to let you know that in this series of tenses, if you really want to master them, all the tenses, you should watch out all the previous lessons because they do have some connection between them. Because if you don't understand any one of them, you might struggle with the other one. So this is what I would suggest you. So let's move on to today's topic. Today's topic is about past indefinite tense. But remember, there are two cases of past indefinite tense. Number one is called state of being, and number two is called usual action. So let's move on to the first part, which is past indefinite tense for state of being. Let's look at the definition. This shows the descriptions of the noun or pronoun regarding past time. Means this tense shows this tense gives the information about something or someone about their past. Maybe just like I could say, he was a student. So this is called just the description of noun or pronoun. There is no action actually. There is just about a little bit information. Now let's have a look at the second definition, which is it shows the status or characteristics of noun or pronoun about the time which is gone. So this tense describe these kinds of things. It might give a description, it might give characteristics, or sometimes status or state or something like that. If you want to talk about anyone's past description or past characteristics, you can use this tense. Now let's have a look at the structure. There are only three elements in this structure. Number one is subject. Number two is the second form of be. Remember, there are only two words which are called second form of be, and they are was and were. And the third element is object. So this is the structure of past indefinite tense for state of being. Now what we have to understand is when to use was and when to use were. So remember, was is always used after first person singular or third person singular subjects. And with all other subjects we use were. Listen it again. We use was if the subject is first person singular or third person singular, and we use were when the subjects are other than first person singular and third person singular. For example, we use was with I, she, he, it or a singular noun, and we use were with you, we, they, and plural nouns, means two or three names of persons. If the subject contain two or three names of any persons, then we use were after them. So guys, this is the structure and the usage of was and were. Now let's have a look at some examples. The first example is he was my student. Now you can see that this is a description about someone that he was my student, but he is not my student now. He is not my student anymore. He used to be. In the past, he was my student. So now let's have a look at the structure. In this structure we use subject in the beginning. So here the subject is he, and after he, because he is a third person singular subject, we use was. After was we have to use object, which is a kind of description here. So we have used my student. He was my student. And this is an affirmative sentence. This is a regular sequence of the sentence. But if we want to make it negative, we have to use not after was or were. Whatever we will find here, we'll use not after them. So here it is was, so we'll use not after was, and the sentence will become, he was not my student. He was not my student, and this is a negative sentence. To make it an interrogative sentence, we have to use was in the beginning, and the sequence will change like this. Was he my student? Notice here, was is in the first place and he is in the second place. And after changing this sequence, we have created a interrogative sentence. So guys, this is an interrogative sentence. Was he my student? Moving on to second example, that is, we were doctors. We were doctors means we used to be a doctor, but we are not doctor anymore. We used to be. Now let's see its structure. Again, subject is in the beginning place. In the first place we use we. In the second place we have used were, because we is a first person plural subject, and we had remembered that we have to use was after third person singular or first person singular, but there is no third person singular and no first person singular. It is first person plural, so we have to use were after we. After were we have to use object, and here is again the noun, which is doctors. It means I'm talking about our description here. We were doctors. We were doctors, and this is an affirmative sentence. To create its negative sentence, what we have to do is we will use not after were, then the sentence will become negative. So the sentence is, we were not doctors. We were not doctors. To create its interrogative sentence, we have to use were in the first place and the subject in the second place. So it will become like this: were we doctors? Were we doctors? And don't forget to mention question mark in the end. Moving on to the third example, which is they were rich. They were rich means I'm talking about a group of people, and they used to be rich, but they were rich in the past. It means they are not rich anymore. They are not rich now. And this is an affirmative sentence because the sequence is just a normal one. Here you can see the subject is in the first place, were is in the second place, which is a second form of we, and then the object is in third place. So this is an affirmative sentence. If we want to make its a negative sentence, we have to use not after were, and the sentence will become they were not rich. To make its an interrogative sentence, again were will come in the first place, they will come after it, and then the description, which is rich here, and then question mark, were they rich? This is an interrogative sentence. So this is about past indefinite for state of being. Now let's have a look at the past indefinite tense for usual action. What are usual action? It's about, it means they are normal actions, what we usually find in the sentences. They cover this kind of categories. So let's have a look at the definition first. This tense describes the actions or activities that were repeated over a period of time or done regularly again and again, such as routine, habit, or scheduled work of past. This means that whatever you used to do on daily basis and whatever you are not doing now, you only used to do in the past on daily basis. You kept doing that again and again, but not doing that anymore. So that kind of situation can be described with using this structure, this tense. The second definition is It shows one-time action in past when used with a specific time. Also remember that this structure gives another kind of meaning. In the first definition, we were talking about the actions which used to be repeated again and again. But in the second definition, we have come to know that it also describes those actions which happened one time or which were done only just one time in the past. But how we will understand that this is a one-time action or the action which used to be again and again? The difference here is of timing. If in any sentence, if the specific time is given in any condition, then this kind of sentence gives the meaning of one-time action. Just like, I met him yesterday. It means that I met him only yesterday. It doesn't mean that I used to meet him again and again. I'm not talking about the repetitive actions in the past. I'm talking about just the one day action that was meeting with someone yesterday. So if I mention any specific past time, then this tense gives only one day or only one time action. Got it? We'll get it further clear in the examples. Let's move on to the structure now. Its structure is very simple, very simple. Only three elements are in the structure. Number one is subject, the doer of anything. Number second is second form of verb. We'll have to use past form of verb. In the third position, we use object. Object is something which is connected with the verb. And here the helping verb is only did. But we do not use it in the structure or in the affirmative sentences. We only use this helping verb when we make negative or interrogative sentences. So guys, let's have a look at its examples now. The first example is, I taught English. It means I used to teach English in the past. My teaching action was done again and again in the past. That was my routine work, but this is not anymore now. And this is an affirmative sentence. You will find here only three words. The first word is I, which is a subject. Then the second form of verb, taught. Basically the first form is teach, but according to the structure we had to use second form. So the second form of teach is taught. And then object, English. This is affirmative sentence. Now if we want to make its negative sentence, we will have to use not after helping verb. But since there is no helping verb in the sentence, we also have to put helping verb as well. And here the helping verb is only did. So we have to use helping verb after the subject. And the sequence will become, I did not teach English. One more thing we have to remember here or notice here, that now I have used the first form of verb, teach, because I have already used a word did, which is already second form of do. So once we use did, we cannot use again the second form of verb. When we use did, we use first form of verb, but when there is no did, just as we have done in the affirmative sentence, then there was no did, so we use the first form of verb. But when we have did, we will use first form of verb. Now if we want to make its interrogative sentence, we'll use did in the first place and subject in the second place. So it will become did I, and then we will use first form of verb and then object. Because we have already used it, so we cannot use second form of verb. We'll use again the first form of verb, which is teach. And the object here is English. In the end, we'll have to use interrogative mark. So the sentence has become an interrogative. Let's move on to the second example. which is you played tennis. You played tennis means you used to play tennis in the past on daily basis, or maybe periodically you used to play tennis. Again, let's have a look at the structure. You can see here subject is in the first place, which is you, and then we used second form of verb, played, and then object, which is tennis. So you played tennis is an affirmative sentence. To make its negative sentence, we'll have to use helping verb plus not, did not, and we will place did not after subject. So the sequence will become like this: you did not play tennis. Here you mean subject, did is helping verb, not is negativity, play is verb, and tennis is object. To make its interrogative sentence, we'll use did in the first place and then subject. We have to use first form of verb. So we used play here, and then object tennis. After object, we have to use question mark. Sentence has become now, did you play tennis? Did you play tennis? Now let's have a look at the third example. He watched a movie yesterday. Here, you have to notice that the timing is mentioned. Yesterday is a past time. So in this sentence, the meaning is about one-time action. He watched a movie yesterday means he watched only a movie in yesterday. It does not mean that he used to watch movie regularly. We are only talking about one-time action, and this is about yesterday. He watched a movie yesterday, and this is an affirmative sentence. If we want to make it a negative sentence, we will have to use did plus not after subject, because there was no helping verb, but in negative sentence helping verb is necessary. So we will not only use not but also add helping verb did. So the sentence has become now, he did not watch a movie yesterday. This is a negative sentence. To make it an interrogative sentence, we'll use did in the first place and then subject. Did he? And then first form of watch, and then object, and then completion, and in the end we will use interrogative mark. This is an interrogative sentence. So guys, this is the end of this lesson. I hope you would have understood it. If you have any query, you can ask me in the comment section. I will definitely reply you. Feel free to ask me anything. And if you like the video, please like it and share it. And subscribe my channel to watch more videos regarding tenses, active passive voices, and narrations, because I'm soon going to upload these videos as well. Bye.